I always get surprised when it actually comes up on screen. How you guys doing today? My name is Sean in Alaska, and thank you for joining me on a gorgeous, gorgeous Alaskan spring, dare I say, spring day. You look over my shoulder right there, you'll see that the heater's not even on. It's like 42 degrees out there. Let me know, too, by the way, if everything's coming in clear, if the audio's good, if the video's good, because I can never tell on that end. The last time I tried to see it, I made it really bad because I kept another tab open, and this time I didn't want to keep the tab open. So I just wanted to start everything off by saying to Mike at Not So Remote Alaska, and anybody else who's in Alaska, is today beautiful or what? I don't know where you're at, but it is phenomenally gorgeous. I looked over at my solar panel charge indicator here today, and for the first time this year, my battery was completely green just from solar panel power, which is awesome, awesome, awesome. Ward, can I use your ramp? Let me jump back here to the beginning, guys. Here's how I like to do this. I like to say hello to everybody. So if I miss you, by all means, give me a shout out again so that I can say hello to you. And I'll answer any question you have. Let's keep it away from political stuff, that's world stuff that's going on. This is kind of an escape from all of that stuff, just basically to have fun and enjoy each other's company. Moderators that are in the channel here are awesome, awesome people. By all means, moderators, as usual, feel free to share out any links you guys want to share out for any of the channels that are in here. It seems like every channel I have that shows up at these lives is just awesome, awesome people to begin with. So with that said, let me jump through and say hello to a few people that are in here. Ray Martinez started everything off. I saw Ray's comment up there. Ray, glad you could make it. It's out of my window now. Charles and Annalyn from the Philippines, thank you guys for joining me. There's Ray. Awesome. JD from SC, glad to have you here, brother. Awesome to see you. Joe Matano, tell Kaylin I said, I hope mom does well. I hope she gets better. And sorry she couldn't make it today, but family always does come first with stuff like that. Scrolling through here, and hello, Joe. Glad you can make it. And please do not ever put me in an argument between you and your wife again about whether or not I can make it snow there. Arthur, glad you can make it from deep South Alabama. Good to have you here. One Grateful Days. Awesome to have you here as well, my friend. Very good to see you. Jim at Woolly Rhino Adventures. You ready for some live stream? So am I. Jolie Pivot. How are you, Jolie? Glad to have you there. I hope if the kids are there with you, hello, Lorelei, Declan, and Piper. Awesome to have you guys here with me as always. If you're there, if not, Jolie, give them all a hug and a kiss for me. Mike from Not So Remote Alaska was working on the mill and wanted to take a break for the live. Thank you very much for that, Mike. Much appreciated. It's like I said, it's just a gorgeous day. Ran to town today, did all my laundry, flew the drone a bit when I got home. I've got all the batteries charging up for that now. When the live stream's over, I'm going to get a fire started outside and probably grill some hot dogs for dinner after I get done clearing some more snow for the cabin build. But yeah, it's just a gorgeous day to be working outside. Cabin dweller Stacy, awesome to have you here. Did you like that picture? I should mention, Charles mentioned it up here earlier as well. But so the pictures that I've been trying to use for the live streams are pictures that I think just depict some of the stuff that's gone on this winter. So some of them are really, really current, and some of them are not too current. I will tell you that if you've watched the video from Friday, you'll know that all those icicles on the front of the trailer are gone now. So that was actually taken a couple of weeks ago, and I was actually posing for the camera. It was after I'd run the snowblower up and down the driveway massively, and it was windy, and the snow was blowing in my beard, and it was all icy. I thought it was a fun picture to use. Glad to have you here, Stacy. Gary Allen, glad you could make it as well. Good to see you, my friend. Marie Thompson, thank you for joining me. Glad to have you here. Marcus, Mr. Marcus, good to see you, my friend. Sunshine, we'll get together because if you look over my shoulder, over there, next to the heater, 1, 2, 3, 4, what is that? 5. I've got 5 18-packs of fresh eggs. The chickens have been going absolutely crazy. So if you want some eggs, let me know. And we'll hook you up definitely. And there was somebody else, I think, after the last live chat or after a live chat I did 2 weeks ago that said they wanted eggs that are local. Let me know, and I will hook you up. One of those is spoken for. I'm basically a regular customer that's going to take an 18-pack every Friday. So I'll just bring them to work with me and hook them up there. We could probably do that for anybody else that wants to get some eggs for me. $5 for an 18-pack. And like I said, I'm not making any money off of them, really. I'm just taking all that and throwing it in an envelope and using it for chicken feed and possible expansion of the flock here in the future. Wendy Benjamin, glad you can make it. Good to see you today. Angie, awesome to have you here. Glad you can make it as well. Hope your weekend's going good. You as well, Liz. I hope you're enjoying the heat. I hope everything is going awesome for you and my daughter, Ashley, and her mom, Lisa. Awesome. Glad you could make it, Lisa. Good to see you. Glad you could be here today. Glad you could be here, Ashley, and kiss the baby for me, as always. Carol L., good to see you. Awesome to have you here. And I'm also reading some comments as I'm going through here, guys. So if I miss your comment, do me a favor and just throw it either tagging me in it. I don't know. It won't highlight in this platform that I'm using. So just do it in all caps. And if I miss your comment and you see me go past it, there's two things you can do. Number one, on the chat window up at the top, if you click on live chat, it will show you actually where your comment showed up in the thread of comments, because sometimes I see your comment at a different time and then I'll get to it. But by all means, don't hesitate to throw it up there a second time. And if I've already answered your comment or question, I'll just skip over it the second time. But I want to make sure I get through everybody this time for sure. Declan, you did make it. Awesome. Glad to have you here, man. Good to see you. Very good to see you. Kathy, North Star Prepsteader, great channel, great person all around. Spring is around the corner, right, Kathy? I'm excited. I'll tell you what, you know, the East Coast and the East Coast of Canada and all you guys are buried in snow. And we do have a lot of snow here. Obviously, you saw the video. But it's melting fast. It's melting so fast. It's so great. I'll get some drone footage this week of the river, or a funny river, because it's starting to flow and open up. The Kenai River takes a little longer to go, but I'm excited. I'm fired up. Keep scrolling through here. Mike McKinley, glad you can make it, my friend. I'm doing great. Thank you. I hope you're doing well as well. I hope you're having hope you had a fantastic weekend. Good. 5x5. Awesome. Like to hear that. We are, I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. We're having an incredible start to breakup. And Brother Will gives me guff all the time, because I'm like, it's time, dude. It's happening. It's breakup. He's all, no, it's not. And I'm all, I don't really think we're going to go below zero and get real cold again. I don't doubt we're going to have more snow, but it's not going to last. Yeah, the writing is on the wall. Definitely. Ward, can I use your ramp? You sure can, brother. You want to use it? You can borrow it. You know you can borrow it anytime you want, man. Birdwatcher Gene, glad you can make it. Awesome to have you here. All's good in video and audio. Thank you very much for that one. Grateful Days. Sound is great. Looks good. Angie, that Northern Lights pick is awesome. I've yet to see them. They are on my bucket list. So this morning, I'm doing laundry and I'm scrolling through my Facebook feed, you know, my personal Facebook feed, and I belong to an Aurora Borealis group up here. And if I would have just stayed awake last night, I guess we had another epic Northern Lights show and I could have gotten some great pictures. But I was in bed at about 9:30 and I slept until, my gosh, well, I woke up the first time at like 3 o'clock in the morning, because my body is set. My body clock is set for that, because I get up to go to work and usually start work at 4 a.m. And I said, forget that, and went back to bed. I didn't get out of bed until 6:30 this morning. Oh, it was such a great night of sleep. But yeah, Northern Lights are awesome. I love them. They are beautiful. Right? Even Stacy in the Yukon Territory. It's warm and melting there as well. And she got a ton of snow. If you guys don't follow Cabin Dweller, you need to be following Cabin Dweller, because Stacy's videos they're beautiful. I mean, she has, I don't know what happened if you just woke up one day, Stacy, and said, I think I'm a cinematographer now, because all of a sudden your videos, and while they were always good and fun, they have just gone just epically gorgeous. Gorgeous day, great day to be running the mill. Awesome. Beautiful day in Kentville. Very good to hear that, Liz. It is warming up here. I'm glad as well, Gene. I'm ready. I mean, it wasn't that cold of a winter as far as our winters go. November, December were pretty bitter, but after that, it just tapered off. It was awesome. Be charming. Glad you could join us. Thanks for having me in your home this afternoon. Great to be there. JD, don't know how long the dance will last, so enjoy while you can, right? Exactly. Roam about. Russ, great to have you here, man. Glad to see you. Very cool. Kemp Bell Off Grid, thank you for joining me as well. Good to see you. Henry Leslie, Vermont, awesome to have you here from the banks of snowy Chase Brook. I like that. That's very cool. Trying to do lots of things with this Irish pot of gold magic, but make it snow now. I can't really make it snow. I can get out and do that. Like I jokingly said to JD, do the warm-up dance. It's not something you want to see. It works best, though, when I'm in the kilt. Right, Stacy? That was the thumbnail for this video this week, or for this live today, was me slowly morphing into the Frozen trailer. Amber Holding, glad you could make it. Good to have you here. DYI, Keeter Osmer, Keaton Osmer. There we go. Hello. Glad you can make it. Sunshine, good. Yeah, get in touch with me. Send me a message on the Facebook page. And let me know what day would work best for you. I'm thinking I'm going to bring him to work with me on Fridays, no matter what. But I could do it any day of the week if you're going to be in town, a special day. Mark Campbell, awesome to have you here. Glad to be there. Eggs, Sean's email. Destiny, how are you? Good to see you. You actually left a comment on, I forget where I saw it today. But yeah, you were one that commented on the picture, I think, too. Eves, glad you can make it. Awesome to have you here. From Quebec, very cool. Ward needs eggs? You need eggs, brother? Just let me know, man. I'll make sure you get some. The Cozy Corner Cabin. Very cool to have you here. Awesome to see you. I'm just scrolling through quick. If nobody's got a question, I'm going to rip through these as fast as I can so that I can say hello to everybody that's jumped in here. I caught that one, Henry. I did catch that one. Sunshine, I don't ever want to see you talk about that again. Last year is in the past. We don't discuss last year. That's true, though. March was warm, and then April and May they weren't bitter cold, but they were colder than usual. I've got my fingers crossed, and I don't really care if it's cold. And cold meaning too cold really to plant, right? 45 or 50 degrees, because it doesn't matter. I just want the ground to thaw. It needs to happen as fast as possible. Al Brown, awesome to have you here. Hello from Toke. Tony and Michelle, very good to see you guys. Glad you can make it. Declan, you may have already said this, but how are the chickens? The chickens are doing fantastic. Today, when I went out to give them fresh water and check on them after I got back from doing laundry and I was doing some stuff in the yard, I had 8 eggs today from the 9 chickens, so I fully expect to walk out and get another egg or 2 later on today before I'm done. And half of them were outside. Actually, there was 6 of the 9 were outside playing around, pecking around. So they're starting to go out more and more. Even though there's a lot of snow on the ground, Declan, they're doing fantastic. I did, it'll be next week's video. I did finally go through and clean out that coop and get rid of all that deep bedding that was in there, and it was nasty. But I got a chance to throw in all fresh straw for them, and they are just super happy. Jay and Jen, awesome to have you guys here. Very cool to see ya. Doug at His Way Homestead. I know you're going live soon, Doug. I think 3:30 my time, so you're probably going live in about 15 minutes. Thanks for popping in there, mister. I greatly appreciate it. Stacy, I only tell the truth when it comes to YouTube. When it comes to a channel that I like, that I watch, that I appreciate, that I see something on that is just that they're doing a great job with it, I always call it as I see it, and your videos have been fantastic. I haven't had a chance to watch the latest one with the price. Put a link up for your latest video with the prices of groceries in the Yukon, but I do want to see that. I'll probably watch that with dinner tonight. Jerry, Canadian, awesome to have you here, my friend. Good to see you. And Fisa, good to see you. You've got a new video up as well. I think I saw that pop up in my YouTube feed. Very glad that you could make it today. You've got to be loving this warm up in the weather as well, huh? Commander Bacon in the house. That's His Way Homestead. If you guys ever see when I'm doing my videos with the camera in front of me in the pickup truck and I'm driving down the road, over my shoulder on the gun rack in the back, over the boomstick rack in the back is or freedom rack in the back, however we need to call it so that YouTube doesn't get mad, is a hat hanging there that I got from Doug, and it's part of the Brotherhood of the Hats. It's a Commander Bacon hat because bacon is the best thing in the world. Yeah, it is, Angie. It's hard to stay up late with my schedule, but I could get up early, and I didn't even look at it. It didn't even dawn on me to check and see because we had a clear night last night. I should have looked. Gary B, glad you could pop in, my friend. North Louisiana visiting son and family. Well, give him my best from Alaska. Tell him I hope everything's going well down there. Have some mud bugs for me, maybe a little bit of Cajun food would be fantastic. I love Cajun food. This does help, guys. If I miss your question and you're going to ask it again, do me a favor and put it in caps so that I can catch it right away. Right? Yeah, exactly, Angie. Scrolling through. Mike said, I just spent $3,500 on tarps, blankets, clothing just for the homeless in Ontario. It made me feel so good. That is so awesome, Mike. That is very, very cool. Anytime you could do something for others, it's a wonderful thing. Um, I've always believed that there was uh, more of a feeling in giving to people who needed it than in any other thing that you could do. I firmly believe that. Julie Cleary, thank you for joining me. Awesome to have you here. Very good. Very good. Flying through here. Yeah, I second that. I second that, Mike. Very cool. Right? It's like a vacation. Feel spoiled with warmth. No ice on the door. I know. Oh gosh, I haven't. I don't even have ice on my step board where I walk in. I threw some ice melt out in the yard yesterday, and chipped away. By the end of the afternoon, there was no. I mean, I have the actual little AstroTurf floor mat sitting right on top of the step out there, and it's completely clear. It's beautiful. I had a little campfire going and everything yesterday. It was nice. Yeah, Brotherhood of the Hats from Alaska to Australia. He's got the world covered. Good look for email, Sean. I deleted Messenger last week, so I got to get some info from you. I want to send you a care package. Okay, not a problem at all. Jerry, it's in the About section of my YouTube page, but if not, you could just do seanowensinalaska@gmail.com. So SEANOWENS in Alaska @gmail.com. And I'm sure Kathy or somebody will pop the link up as well. That does help, folks. If you hit that thumbs up, YouTube goes, oh, people are interested in this. And the more thumbs up it has, it says, well, let's show this to other people. And it does get the live spread out, and it gets the channel spread out as well. I greatly appreciate it. And just like that, you see that? Look at that. Thank you, Kathy. Much appreciated. Jerry, there you go. That's the email. I had to read it again to make sure that was me. All righty. We're all caught up. That's fantastic. I never get caught up that quick. So let's see what else. Last night or yesterday, I got home from running a few errands in town. I wasn't going to go to town because I really didn't need to till today. But I got home. I went to town and I picked up some sand and I picked up some ice melt because I had a little issue getting up and down the driveway. And it's not that I can't get up and down the driveway. It's that as I'm coming up or down the driveway and I hit any kind of a spot with too much ice in it, the truck gets sucked one way or the other. So I wanted to get some sand to break that up. And I got home and I said, oh, I got to do this. And cleared off the fire pit, went ahead and started a little campfire out there, fired up the barbecue, sat outside and grilled a nice, beautiful steak with some potatoes. It was wonderful. It was yummy, yummy, yummy. And I truly love that. I love sitting outside next to that campfire with food on the grill. To me, it's everything that I moved here for. It's everything that I wanted to be here for. Didn't have the generator fired up. Everything was charged up. It was just nice. Very, very nice. What did you guys do this weekend? Anything fun? Anything exciting? Do you guys have anything fun happen to you? Anything exciting happen to you? Love to hear that as well. Jay and Jen. I don't think that's what they mean by thumbs up, Jay. Great, Jerry, you got it right on. Very cool. Yeah, send me the message and I'll respond to it right away. And then we could just keep in touch through there. And if you want, let me know, and I'll send you my phone number. And we could, if you text, if that's better for you. I'm not a big texter, but I always get back to everybody who sends me. If you leave a comment, if you send me an email, if you ask me a question, I'm going to do my best to answer it, and I'm going to get right back to you as soon as I possibly can. So if it's been an hour or two, if it's a weekday, I'm probably at work, but I'm always going to try and get back to you as fast as I possibly can. Right? Yeah, Mike. Jay and Jen are awesome. Jay, the way that those two play off of each other is just, I die laughing all the time. I've been watching Jay and Jen since, well, Jay decided he was going to fall off a ladder. Actually, I started watching him before that. And it's just fun to watch another channel just grow the way they've grown and to see what they've built. Their cabin is just awesome. They've done such a fantastic job up there. Although, Jay, I'm very disappointed in the fact that the beard is gone. Just because you were going to Florida didn't mean you had to shave, brother. I don't know why you did that. It wasn't time yet. It was way too early, and your face has got to be freezing right now. Sounds like a song, Sean and his grill. Nice, right? Right? Oh, it's still hitting. See, I dug mine out. I kept mine dug out. I kept my main Weber pretty much dug out through the whole winter because I used it all winter long. I grill. I don't care what the temperature is. I'll grill in 20 below zero. There's just something about food cooked over an open flame to me that is just incredible. Out of garden, glad you can make it. Awesome to have you here. Very cool. You can make it. Anfisa says, I canned in my RV for the first time. You canned salmon from 21. Very cool. I have to, and I promised JD and his wife Rhonda that I was gonna cook some salmon. So I need to grill some salmon this week, and I will do that, and I will have it in next week's video. And because I said that on the live, I now have to make sure that I get that done. But I'm just gonna do a simple recipe on the salmon. Most of the salmon that I caught from last year has ended up in salmon dip. So my main freezer I keep over at Brother Will's house, and I keep it loaded up with salmon. And his wife, Barb, will walk downstairs and tell Will, pull some salmon out. And then, he'll pull it out. He'll go ahead and do a light smoke on it on the grill, and then she'll make salmon dip out of it. That's just delicious. But this year I hope to actually can salmon to store it so that I can have it all throughout the whole winter. Great channel, guys. If you're not following Jay and Jen, you need to follow Jay and Jen because they're awesome, awesome people, and they have great, great content. Move more snow. You and me both. That's the story of this time of the year, right? I don't have to move it. It's going to melt on its own. But my thought is, like I said, if I can get that snow moved out of the way with these warmer temperatures that we have, it will push up my build time by 2 to 3 weeks of when I'll actually be able to start digging holes for the sonotubes. And that is huge to me because that will get me into that cabin that much faster. And I plan on taking breaks throughout the year. It can't be just all build because I'm going to go over to Seward and definitely do some snagging for salmon. And I'm going to follow the fish as much as I can this year and get as much fishing in as I possibly can. Right? Yeah, exactly, Jerry. They've been great people. Great. They're great to watch. Boy, there's a lot of them in here, Mike. There's a lot of them in here. Far North Home, Afisa is one. Not So Remote, Alaska is another. And they're just a ton of fun. They're good people. They're fun to watch. Bunch of different. I mean, we kind of all do a little bit of the same stuff, but it's funny because of where we're located in Alaska. The challenges that we have are a little bit different in every section. I'll get much milder winters than say, Anfisa and Mike are getting up where they're at. And so what they have to deal with in the winter and the cold, like they've got a great deal more snow than I do right now. And Susan's not in here right now. At least I haven't seen her yet. But she sent me some pictures from her place where her entire cabin is just about buried in snow. I mean, it's like a hobbit hole to get into. So that the microclimates are so different that we all deal with different stuff. Everybody who wants to email me to remind me to cook salmon this week, feel free to do so. I'm not doing it tonight though because I had a hankering for hot dogs, so I picked those up in town after I got done with laundry. Throw some hot dogs on the grill. Do I have all the tools that I need to build? I think so. I'm not. I mean, I have. I think every single thing that I need to build, and what I don't have at this point. I have buddies like Ward and a few other people up here locally that have already told me, hey, if you need this, let me know. When you're ready, let me know. So I think I've got tool-wise everything that I need to build. I think I'm set as far as that goes. Now, with that said, do I have a wish list about this mile long or about this long? Yesterday, when I was in town, I stopped by Home Depot, and I was this close to pulling the trigger on a beautiful battery-operated DeWalt nail gun. So I don't have to keep the generator running to charge up an air compressor. It's like the same one that they use at Mapleberry Farms. And it's I love that nail gun. But I'll probably put the first wall up with the old-fashioned framing hammer, by hand. And then we'll see how it goes from there. But a nail gun would sure make it easy, when you're when you're doing the roof rafters and that kind of stuff, and I don't want to hold it and nail it at the same time. But I think I've got everything I need. Christy Betts, glad you could make it. Awesome to have you here. Might go sea fishing for salmon this year, really stock up. Prices for food are just insane. They're crazy. With that said, I mean, because what a lot of people don't realize about living in Alaska is that everything that we have here is brought here by either airplane, ship, or truck through Canada. Now, in order, it comes up by ship, it comes up by air, and then it's trucked up through Canada. I would think that that would be close to how it goes. You know, it could go back and forth between the air and the trucking. But we don't have a lot of infrastructure for most of this stuff. Produce is very, very expensive up here. And by the same token, meat can be ridiculous. All of our groceries are higher than you're going to find generally in the lower 48. In the main communities of Anchorage, Wasilla, Palmer, so right along basically the main arteries of the state, excuse me, the pricing's not that bad. But when you get outside of the highway system in Alaska, the prices skyrocket. They go crazy. With that said, you know, we have major grocery chains up here. I work for Safeway, and every week we have what we call $5 Friday. Right now, I think 80/20 ground beef is running $5.99 a pound, which is expensive. It's ridiculous to me for ground beef. But Friday we had New York steaks on sale for $5 a pound. So of course, Sean said, I'm having New Yorks and I'm buying a big package and I'm throwing them in the freezer because it's cheaper than ground beef. So if you shop the ads, you can do well. But, you know, a good comment here from Anfisa is that we also have the ability to harvest a lot of our food up here. And that goes a long way to making, you know, your food budget a lot more tolerant. And it's a lot of fun too. JD, have you ever tried a charcoal chimney to light instead of fluid? Yeah, I actually have a charcoal chimney right now, JD, and I did it all summer last summer. The problem is it's buried somewhere in the snow and I can't find it. So when I have the charcoal chimney dug back out of wherever I lost it in the snow, because I didn't get it cleaned up early enough before the big snow came, I will dig that out and I will stop using charcoal or starter fluid. I do use the starter fluid sometimes, and especially this time of year, to get the campfire going. And that's mainly because, like yesterday when I fired it up, there was so much ice actually in the pit. So as it thaws, it flows to low areas. And because I've used that as a campfire area, it is kind of lower to begin with. So I need to use the starter fluid to get that fire going, to melt all the ice around it to begin with. But generally I use the chimney and prefer to use the chimney because you don't get the off flavor from the fluid that way. Arthur asks, am I going to be taking off from work this summer to build? Yes, I'm going to take, I've got quite a few vacation weeks saved up. So on different segments of the build, I will be taking time off from work so that I can focus entirely on the build. But then on a lot of it too, I have weekends off and I get home from work every day at 12 noon. And I usually don't go to bed till about 7. So I'll probably push the envelope there, and work every single day too. But yeah, I plan on taking some time off from work to do this build. Right? Yeah, exactly. It's huge. If Alaska splits in two, Texas is the third biggest state. No offense to Texas, but this state is massive. Yeah, Mike. Kathy just keeps putting links in for, you know, channels that are in here, and by all means, check them all out. Everybody who's in there in here right now and that Kathy's showing links for, I think you would probably enjoy some of their content no matter what. And we're all different, which makes it real fun. Terry Burns, glad you can make it, my friend. Finally managed to catch me a good. Glad to have you. I'm glad to have you guys here whenever you can make it. And don't ever feel obligated that you've got to be here because Sean's going live. I know life cuts in. If you've got the time, I would love to spend it with you. That's the main thing. That's all I'm after here is just we get together, we have fun, we chat a bit. What's the new style of morning grits? Okay, so the last couple of days I've been eating potato, or the last couple of weekends I've been eating potatoes because my potatoes were going to go bad. So I'll be back on grits probably next weekend. I did cheese grits the last time, and they were yummy. I'm going to play around with some different recipes though, and I'm going to probably eat grits quite a bit during the summer as well. I like them. They're a ton of fun, but I had to get rid of the potatoes that I had, so that's why the grits have not been updated lately. I should invite people here like Mr. Rogers. Let me get a, I'll tell you what, Ward, I'll invite you here for a live, like Mr. Rogers, but you're going to have to wear a sweater like he's got. Do you have the sweater and the loafers? I don't have I don't have a skill saw. I've got a chop saw now, thanks to a viewer, an awesome person and a good friend. I do have a skill saw. I did buy a new one. I don't have a table saw. The nail gun, I actually have already lined up compressor and all that stuff from a buddy in town. Actually, it's Jack, who I borrowed the snowblower from. And he's already told me I got a framing nailer, I got a brad nailer, because the only thing I'm not comfortable with is the compressor that he's got is a pancake compressor, and he doesn't know how long that will last. But it should work. He's never used it that much. He's like me. If it's a heck of a deal, he'll buy something. When it comes to a nail gun, though, I would like to purchase that DeWalt battery operated one. That I think it's a 16 gauge. I think is what it's gorgeous. I love DeWalt tools anyway, which is just a fancy name, I guess, for Black & Decker. But it's a beautiful nail gun. And I watched Jeremy and Ashley just use that. I mean, Jeremy's a guy, strong guy, ex-military, and you watch him with that nail gun, boom, 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 doesn't bat an eye. And then you watch Ashley, his wife, pick it up, and Ashley, boom, 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 with that nail gun too. She's got no problems using it at all. And for me, that's ease of use and the fact that it's battery operated and I can charge it. And I'm going to add a panel or two to my system, solar wise, so that I can charge a lot more stuff without firing up the generator on a regular basis. So the battery operated one, I think, would be awesome for me. And Mark agrees, right? Got one of those framing battery DeWalt's Game Changer. Awesome. Yeah. Welcome, Mark. Glad you can make it too. And they're just beautiful. I'd love to get one. Here's another great channel, Broussard Homestead. Amy, glad you can make it. Awesome to have you here. A lot of fun. They do lives every Thursday night, and they are great people. They are awesome people. Got to run. Okay. Yep. I knew you were going live. I knew that was coming up. Doug, thanks for popping in. If you're still here, glad you can make it. Awesome to have you here as always. Brotherhood of the Hats. Tank, the Tinkerer's wife. Very good to see you. Awesome that you can make it as well. Keep up the kilt, right? Not wearing the kilt today. And I'm doing this mainly so that I can show my daughter, Ashley, and Brianne, if she's watching, that Dad's not wearing the short pants that he was wearing last weekend. Because they said when I got up to go check the stew in the kitchen, it looked like I was naked. But I'm not wearing the kilt today because it had been about 4 weeks since that thing got washed, and it was getting pretty gamey. So took it to the laundromat today and washed it. It's outside right now drying. You can machine wash them, but you can't machine dry them. So it's hanging outside. I should be able to don it again in a day or two. It should dry out. Jerry, awesome. I'll check for that. As soon as we are done here, I will jump over and look and see if I've got that. You gave me the nails. The Hitachi is ready to use. Awesome. Very cool, Ward. I'm excited. I'm fired up. If you can't tell, I would start building tomorrow if I could. I'd be out there with a shovel digging holes tomorrow if I could. I'm not going to use the shovel, but I would do it tomorrow if I could. Scrolling through here. Brother Sean, North Shore Preparedness. You guys want to watch a great channel? You want to see an incredible channel with some of the most positive, fun, and supportive lives that you'll ever see? It's my buddy Sean here at North Shore Preparedness. It does a great job. I am glad you can make it, Sean. Awesome to have you here from the beautiful shores of Lake Ontario. Awesome, Mike. Yeah, definitely write them down. And for anybody who doesn't know, right, when I set these lives up, I always set them up with the live chat when we're done. So if there's a link that you said, oh, what was the name of that channel? I wish I would have written that down. You can go back and watch this live again. You can scroll through the live chat and you can pull those links up again because they will be there, I think. I've seen them pop up in the live chat when I've done it. And every week when I set these up, I try to make sure that the live chat replay is also set up that you can see everything as it's happening. Oh, nice. You used to work at Seward and Safeway, or at Safeway and Seward. Man, they could use some help now. That store is tough to keep staffed because they really So the folks that work in the winter at that store can make a whole lot more money in the spring and summer once the boats start going out of the Seward Harbor. So it's tough for that store to keep help on, staff on hand. It's difficult, very difficult. Yeah, right. We never get them. It's pretty rare that we get them for $5 a pound up here too. Boy, and I think the best price we get on ribeyes is like $7.99 a pound. Is the cheapest I've seen ribeyes in, and that's only during the holidays. And usually you got to buy the whole roast. So sometimes I'll go in with Brother Will, and we'll buy the whole roast. It's set in the bag at $7.99 a pound, and then we'll have the butcher stake it out for us, or we'll stake it out ourselves. But yeah, it's pretty rare you get it that cheap. Gary's asking a question: what foods can I grow in the gardens in Alaska? So you can grow just about anything up here, but some stuff needs to be done in a greenhouse or a high tunnel type building, which I plan on eventually building here as well. But the crops that do very, very well here, and this is just from looking at the agricultural extension out of Fairbanks and their suggestions for my zone, and they have been testing different stuff to grow in the state for years now. Potatoes do incredible. Root crops in general do very, very well. So potatoes, carrots, beets do very, very well. Onions do very, very well. Certain breeds or certain varieties. But if it grows under the ground, generally speaking, it'll do pretty well here. Garlic will overwinter here. So while I won't have garlic this year, I should have garlic next year. And my garden's going to be, out of the 20-foot by 40-foot section that I've got zoned off and that I'm going to fence off this year for the first garden, I'm probably only going to use a third of it at the most, mainly because I need to focus more on the cabin than on the garden. And I'm going to play with it. There's some different stuff as far as composting goes that I want to, I mean, a lot of the stuff from last year I won't be able to use this year for compost. So I'll put it in at the end of the season in the fall, if that makes sense. Corn, there are a couple of varieties that will grow up here, but generally speaking, corn needs to be inside of a high tunnel or a greenhouse. And corn, honestly, is fun to grow, but a great deal of the time you can actually buy it cheaper than to grow it at home, but it's a ton of fun to grow. Artichokes do well. Asparagus will do well up here. So there's quite a variety that I can do. Apple trees, some varieties of fruit trees will make it up here. Other varieties just won't. The list goes on and on. I should post a link. Matter of fact, maybe I'll post a link on my community tab for the Alaska Agricultural Extension, UAF, University of Alaska Fairbanks, so that anybody who's interested can look and see what crops will do well up here. Strawberries do fantastic. Rhubarb does fantastic. Blueberries. I hope that gives you a good idea, Gary. Out of Gardens asking, what all do I harvest? Last year, the only thing I really managed to grow was some tomatoes that did, and I grew them in a planter, a container outside that I ended up having to bring in at the end of the season. And while I had a ton of fruit at the end of the season, our season's a bit short with the cool, with the cool weather for it really to set a lot of fruit. But I did get a lot of cherry tomatoes off of that when it was done. And the potatoes did very well for me. I planted 7 pounds, I think, of potatoes last year, and I ended up harvesting 27 pounds out of that. And that was just playing around for the first time ever on the property. Brother Sean. Scrolling through. Fat Man, glad you can make it, my friend. You're never late. You always arrive when you need to be here, right? How to Garden channel. You'll learn something there. You'll definitely learn something there. Right? So if he's the same thing, root veggies, carrots, beets, cabbage. I forgot cabbage, kale, broccoli. I definitely plan on planting some cabbage and some kale. I probably won't do broccoli or cauliflower this year. Yeah. It's the same here, right? Beef, I think, is expensive everywhere right now, but chicken and pork, I eat more pork chops now than I probably have ever eaten in my life. And I love chicken and I love pork chops. So it works out. I just like the occasional steak too. Scrolling through here, looking at comments. And there would be Brett. Welcome, my friend. I'm only here to ask this guy's name and location. Hi, Brett. My name is Sean, and I'm in Alaska. That fits. Whenever I go on his live, he always looks at his wife, Amy, and goes, well, look, Amy, his name is Sean, and he lives in Alaska. He's got the perfect name for his channel. Right? Glad to know. Here you stocked up on Kansas City. The real name of those steaks you bought. Right? Exactly. Nope, that's true. That's true. I know that that is the actual name of those steaks. Ripping through here. Everybody's saying hi to each other. I love one of the things about going live. I think I enjoy the most is when I look off to the right um, on the chat window and I see everybody talking to each other back and forth, and somebody asks a question and somebody else jumps in with an answer. That is so cool to me. That is so awesome. Jay and Jen, you say potatoes replanting? Just found mine in the basement. They're sprouting. No, I didn't this year. I didn't save any, and the reason why is because in the trailer, um, they froze. One of the incidents of so I got through about half of them, and I was storing them up on an upper shelf over here. But one of the times when I ran out of propane and came home, and it was 0 degrees Fahrenheit inside my trailer, uh, couldn't salvage the potatoes. They froze and they pretty rotted when they thawed out. So um, the nice thing is that I've been playing with different varieties every year, and we probably have between Cadre Feed, where I bought my chickens and I buy all my chicken supplies from on a regular basis, and Trinity Greenhouse down here on the Kenai Peninsula. We probably have 20 different varieties of potatoes. So I'm changing them up every year to find which one does best for me. And once I do find a variety that does well for me and I can store them properly in the cabin, then I'll probably run my own seed potatoes from that point forward. Henry Leslie Vermont, tell Doug I said hi. Glad you're going over and showing support to him as well. Much appreciated when I get you here. Nice. He's bragging. He sent me a picture of a sweater that his wife knit him that is so gorgeous. It's just incredible. The man is spoiled. And then she makes him cookies too. That's ridiculous. I probably should. You know what? I got to look at that anyway because I haven't updated that in a while. I do have the Amazon wish list. Kathy shared the link on it. Um, I don't really advertise it that much. It's in every video on the bottom in the show notes, but I don't really talk about it that much. But I will tell you that one of the suggestions I had from a viewer, and it was Destiny, if she's still in here, was I should probably add coffee to it. And I did. And she sent me a bag of coffee that I had on there, which was incredible because coffee is the gift that keeps on giving. It's what powers us people in the North, right? Coffee. Between independent breweries and coffee stands, we're all set. We've got morning, noon, and night covered. Kristen Grounds from Arizona. Awesome you can make it. Glad to have you here. Good to see you, Kristen. Oh my gosh, I would die. At this point, I would die at 86 degrees Fahrenheit. See, that makes me smile too right there, Mike. 6 new channels to look at. That is very cool. And you know what? If you find one out of the 6, that was awesome. Then that was worth every single link that Kathy shared. If you found one that just entertained you and that taught you something, that's very cool. I have been watching a lot more YouTube myself this week as I get closer to the build, trying to get some different ideas for how I do certain things. I'm not a carpenter. I'm not a contractor. I've never been one. This is the first time I've ever tried to build anything bigger than a chicken coop. So we'll see what happens. Always, brother. Definitely, always. Much appreciated, Mike. Oh, blade roast here today was $10 a pound. That's not bad for blade roast. Joe, do I have a good recipe for prime rib? Ashley, if you're still in here, answer Joe's question and tell him whether or not your dad has a good recipe for prime rib, because I'm going to definitely cook one for next year. I have the best recipe for prime rib you'll ever taste in your life, and it's so simple it will blow your mind. One of the first videos I ever did on YouTube actually is a prime rib recipe because my daughters kept calling me and asking me for the recipe. But it's not really a video. It's basically pictures of the whole stage all the way through. So check that out if you want, Joe, but I'm going to actually do a full-blown updated probably Christmas dinner video this year. And I'll have to do it early in the season. But I'm waiting to get an oven that's big enough to do everything in. Right? It wasn't an actual, like I said, Sean, it wasn't an actual video, but it will give you every step that you need to make something that's fantastic. Lindsay, glad you could join. Awesome to see you. It's beautiful today, man. Gorgeous day in Alaska. Yep, cabbage and potatoes do really well here. really well here. And if you're into hunting, moose like cabbage, from what I hear. Right? Yeah. And so Sunshine in the Kenai is not far from me at all, probably about 20 miles from where I'm at. And she's on the coast, so her temperatures are a little better regulated than mine are. They stay a little more stable. I get a lot warmer temperatures in the summer, and I get a lot cooler temperatures in the winter. But lettuce, kale, chard, herbs, raspberries, blueberries, tons of potatoes, definitely. Oh, thank you very much. Much appreciated, Kathy. UAF extension right there. And Kathy's on top of it. Very cool. I am looking forward, Camp Bell, to actually making those videos and showing them to you because it's been a long time. This is like a dream come true. Excuse me. And I don't actually emotionally know how I'm going to feel when I actually start this and I put that first sonotube in the ground. I'm going to be a bit blown away because I've been dreaming of doing this, something like this, my entire life. And it just goes to show that it doesn't matter what your dream is. If you want it bad enough, you chase it, you'll get it. You'll get it eventually. Another great channel. You didn't miss most of the live, man. It's all going to get good right now. You're here, so it's going to get awesome. Right? Yes, they are. And Alaskan Homestead is awesome as well. And I watch them quite a bit too. I like those guys. Yep, there we go. I think I just said that. If you're going to grow candy or if you're going to grow cabbage, you need a fence. They think it's candy. You know, I should do a funny. Oh, how about you wear a funny river hoodie? We could do that. You could wear a funny river hoodie if you can get me one. I love that. I love that. You really did, man. You had a great live stream last night. It was a ton of fun. A ton of fun. And so Sean's channel, when he does his live streams, will talk current affairs, but there's so much more that goes on in there, and it's so generally family friendly fun. It's later in the evenings, so it's not something that kids are going to watch. So they do go off the reservation on occasion, but there's so many neat people in there, and he will do live raids where he'll find a channel that is live that has maybe only 10 people or 8 people or 6 people watching the live, and the whole channel, his whole live, will go over and join that live chat. It's just a ton of fun. It's just so much fun. Yep. Moose think the entire garden is candy. I'm gonna have a big enough fence to be able to keep the moose away. Definitely. Michigan Daffodil, glad you can make it. Have me on the background as you chat on the phone with your 30-year-old son in South Carolina. His birthday was yesterday. Wish him happy birthday from Alaska for me if you would. Definitely. Tell him this knucklehead that wears a kilt in Alaska said happy birthday. Very cool. Right? What's invisible and smells like your garden? Yeah, moose farts. Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. Coffee is. I love coffee. I used to drink coffee to wake up, and I don't anymore because I can drink a pot of coffee and go right to sleep. It doesn't bother me at all, but I just love the flavor of the smell of every. And for me, my routine starts off with I get up in the morning and pour my water into my tea kettle because I use a French press. And then start the water to boil, measure out my coffee into my coffee grinder, grind it by hand, and that's how fresh my coffee is. It's just awesome. Scotty's Backyard Barbecue, another great channel. Scotty bought a house finally, so we're going to see a lot of awesome videos from Scotty's brand new backyard. And he got a new Weber. I saw the pictures of it. I'm pretty excited to see what you cook on that, Scotty. Great channel. If you like to grill, great channel, Scotty's Backyard Barbecue. More coffee shops than there are churches. Right? Yeah, I'm the same way now. It's pretty. I do watch television shows that I can stream through my phone, but other than that, I don't watch TV. Okay, I don't ever want to see that again. Batman, don't ever talk about hundreds again. Oh no, Lindsay, really? If he is a YouTuber and his name is Sean, you can guarantee I'm probably watching his channel. But I've been watching Sean James at My Self Reliance for a very long time. Watched him build his first cabin on his first property. Watched him build his outdoor kitchen. That man is like the Yoda for self reliance and for building your own place. He's incredible, and his videos are beautiful. So if you ever see anything in one of my videos where you go, "Oh my gosh, that's beautiful," you can bet that I got it from watching that guy, because he is my go-to for. I just love watching my self reliance. It is fantastic. I'm way behind on his videos just because I've been too busy doing my own. Right, here we go. Ashley's chiming in on the prime rib. Oh boy, it's good. Midwest Duck Slayer, glad you could make it. Awesome to have you here. You cook a moose prime rib. Ooh, that would be different. That would be different. I need to have people to cook for, though, too. So you can bet if I'm going to do something like a big prime rib, that I'm going to have a lot of friends over for that, and we're going to make an event out of it. It's going to be a ton of fun. It is. It is the gift that keeps on giving. Thank you, Destiny. Mimsy, glad you could make it. Very cool that you could come in. I appreciate that. It is. It is, Stacy. It's going to be a ton of fun for me. A ton of fun for me. And I'm going to go back and I think that's the beauty of doing the videos for all of this, is I get to go back and look at where I was to where I've gone. And I get to share that with my children. I get to share that with my grandchildren. They get to share that with every generation going forward. It's just awesome. It's incredible. Dude, I'm looking forward to it as well. I haven't seen that yet. You can trust me. I cut a lot of trees down on this property. I never saw a moose come in once after I did. But everything I have here is spruce, so that could be a great reason why. I don't really have anything on this property other than spruce, and the black nasty spruce as well. That is very cool. Sunday call to your 92-year-old mama. That is a beautiful thing right there. Liz, if you're not gone already, awesome to read that. Thank you, and have a wonderful, wonderful week. I'm going to have to increase this to 3 hours. What? What? I did the long one on Christmas Day, and I couldn't talk for 2 days afterwards. Kathy's sharing a bunch of links. I'm flying through here. Divine Truth, very glad you can make it. Okay, so I know I don't do politics or anything like that, and I said I won't, but I'm going to answer this question because if you don't know, Alaska has a ton of military bases, and they have a ton of military bases that are not defensive. They're not for defense. So we don't really worry about that. And I am a child born in 1962. So I grew up in some stuff that most people today don't really, they're not used to it. But we dealt with this kind of thing hanging over our head for most of my school days. So it's not as big of a deal to somebody my age as it is to somebody much younger, say my daughter's age and stuff, because they've never really had to deal with this. But politically, that's all I'm going to say on the entire situation. I don't live my life worried about what's going to happen that is out of my control tomorrow. And I really try and suggest that more people do that. You can control a certain amount of things in your own life, and there are many things that you have no control over outside of your life. Focus on those things that you can control in your own life, and you will have a much happier life. Will the bad things still happen? Possibly, yes. But you have no control over that. But you have control over you, your family, your loved ones, your friends all around you. And I really like to focus on that in my personal life. Believe me, I didn't for many, many years. And I'm a better person now that I do. So in a way, I'm sad that comment came up, because I try to stay away from it. But I'm happy if I could get one person out there to say, you know what, that kind of makes sense to me. Yeah, definitely. I choose to worry about those things I can control, and I choose to not worry about anything that is out of my control. Life is easier that way for me. I drink it because coffee. Very cool. Awesome. And I'm not going to leave till I get to all the end of the comments this week because we've got like, what, 2.5 minutes left, but I want to get all the way to the bottom and make sure I've got everybody's answered. Before I jump off of here. Yeah, he is, right? He is just amazing. Only he spells his name wrong, right? That's how I spell my name, S-E-N. But some about Canadians spelling the word Sean, and they all think it has to be spelled S-H-A-W-N. I don't know why. The guy's incredible. The guy's incredible. Although when he built his cob wood-fired oven outside, I was like, I did not expect that I would watch some guy in the Canadian wilderness in his bare feet stomping that cob together. Everybody likes the dog Kelly. That dog. I remember I started watching him when that dog was a pup. Right? Yeah, exactly. If you're cutting birch, they're coming for the tops. That's a huge thing too, especially today, right? Everybody's got one of these, a cell phone, and if you're doing anything, record it. You can always delete it if you don't want it, but sometimes you'll realize when you're watching it back, oh my gosh, I didn't believe I got that picture or I got that video. To me, that is just the ultimate. I record everything every day. Yes, we are. Trudy Cron, glad you can make it. All is well here in Alaska. Very good. Glad you enjoyed the most recent video. I see eagles every single day, but I haven't really had a chance to pull over and get any pictures of them because the last week has been pretty busy for me, especially with the thaw and some of the stuff that I've had to do around the property. And you'll see next week what I was doing. But yeah, so I see them all the time, but I need to get out there with the camera because I know Karen, who's a loyal follower of the channel and sends me messages about eagles all the time. She loves them, and I promised to get her some pictures of basically eagles everywhere. And I have to make that trip this week to get those pictures. So I definitely will get more. Aren't I only 35? Don't I wish I was 35 25 years ago. I hit a big birthday this year in May, and I feel better now than I felt when I hit 50. I feel better now than when I hit 40. I feel pretty darn good right now, and I got to think it's the life, the lifestyle I've chosen. Right? Yeah, fastest hour of the week. And I'm going to fly through these now, folks, because we're at the end. But I do want to say, I want to make sure I cover everybody. Thank you, much appreciated, Joe. Right? I mean, I appreciate it. I do appreciate that, Divine Truth. I really do. Man, there's so many things that we focus on that we don't need to focus on. I don't watch the news. I don't listen to the news. I don't do any of that anymore. I get a lot of news from different sources, but I'm more interested in what's happening locally to me than I am interested in everything else because locally impacts me directly. And it's huge. It's huge. Chilling like a villain. Birdwatcher Gene, right? Nice. I don't know if it's wisdom or if it's experience. I don't know what they call it, but it's fun. Mimsy's Garden, hope you have a fantastic week. Glad you can join us. Alaskans are tough people. They do. They watch out for each other all the time. It's amazing what they do. But there's a lot of people that do the same thing, and I am definitely thankful to have many of those people in my life. It's incredible. Sunshine, you pretty much nailed where I'm going to go. I am definitely going to swing up there with the camera and the video camera and make sure that I get some stuff. Rhonda, hello. Glad you could make it. I'm telling you right now, JD has just been inconsolable because you weren't there with him all day. He doesn't know what to do with it. He's beside himself. Everybody's saying, have a great week. Have a great week. I think I got down towards the end. Folks, thank you for joining me as well. Moderators, thank you very much for sharing the links. I like to think that I have some of the kindest people in the world that view the channel. You guys have a fantastic rest of your Sunday. Have a great week. We'll catch you next week. I'm Sean in Alaska, and I'm out of here. Talk to you later. Ashley, if you're still there, I love you. Kiss the baby for me. Bye-bye.